CenturyNext Bank is proud to sponsor Digital Weather Desk with local meteorologist Jared Floyd.
The Digital Weather Desk is your local source for the latest weather information to help keep you and your family safe and to plan your week. You can follow us on our social media platforms, download our app, and you can also find us at digitalweatherdesk.com. The Digital Weather Desk,
Powered by CenturyNext Bank.
Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by CenturyNext Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Thursday, and we're almost to the weekend. Today's forecast made possible by ServPro, Monroe, West Monroe, faster at any size disaster. Call or click servpro.com for more. Local number 318-345-5121. A look at high temperatures from the day. It is National Weather Person's Day. Again, not National Meteorologist Day. You don't have to be a meteorologist to celebrate National Weather Person's Day. If you're a weather observer, a weather fanatic, weather hobbyist, whatever, I hope you've enjoyed the day. And the kiddos at my child's day school made me a card. And it's amazing. So thank you so much to all the kiddos. Some of them, they're stickers, and then some of them, they have handprints. And it was just wonderful. And so that made my day. And they brought me ice cream. I was kind of bummed. I'm going to be honest with you. Why? And here's why. Usually we used to get, when I worked in broadcast, and I know that in a lot of our broadcast friends probably got their National Weather Person's Day ice cream. An ice cream company that will not be named, but rhymes with Schmooshmel, delivers ice cream. It's just like they just do it every year to most of the broadcast partners in the South. So again, they probably got ice cream today, but I didn't, and so I was kind of bummed about it. And so they got me ice cream, and so did my wife. I'm lactose intolerant. We're gonna power through it anyway. Why not? Here's a look at temperatures. We're in the 50s. A lot of people probably didn't want to know that. 49 in Greenville, 50 in Lake Providence, 57 in Monroe, 58 in El Dorado. Temperatures did warm up pretty nicely, especially out to the west as we work through the day. And the winds have been out of the west through much of the day as well. Good evening, Janice. Thanks so much for joining in. Check a temperature changes over the last 24 hours, and most of us clearly trending several degrees warmer. And we'll likely see that again tomorrow. Sharply warmer. A good 20 degrees warmer in many spots as we go through the day. Again, latest forecast has also been uploaded to digitalweatherdesk.com and the Digital Weather Desk app. Wind speeds, generally out of the west. Again, 5 to 15 miles an hour at times. Occasionally breezy, but not too terrible as we've worked through the late afternoon. The winds were a little bit more persistently breezy earlier in the day. Check the infrared satellite, and we are dealing with some high clouds, but they are relatively quick-moving clouds, and we should pave the way to clear skies as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Check the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. You can schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. There will be a QR code that you can scan at the end of this forecast for that information, but nothing happening radar-wise or rain-wise, any way you want to really look at it. Check the drought monitor, which was updated today, and it's not necessarily all bad news, but it's not all necessarily good news either. We had the winter ice storm that kind of helped with drought conditions, especially across portions of the Mississippi Valley, but then there are other areas along the Mississippi Valley that are now in what we would consider extreme drought conditions, even exceptional drought conditions across portions of northeastern Arkansas. Good evening to you, May. I hope you've had a wonderful day as well. So we need some rainfall, and we need the stormier pattern to be a little bit more persistent and a little bit more consistent in the forecast as we go through the rest of the month and really going into the springtime months. Well, what a coinkydink. It looks like that's what we're headed toward. Winds will be back out of the southwest tonight. Again, it leads to a very, very sharp warming trend through the day tomorrow. We will push a cold front through late. It won't make much of a difference for the early part of the day. Many of us will probably see the 70s, maybe even the mid-70s for afternoon highs. Then the cold front moves through late. Temperatures take a little bit of a dip for Saturday, so if you have Mardi Gras parade plans, it will be beautiful, but it will be a little on the cool side. Daytime highs probably in the mid to upper 50s. We will likely fall into the 30s for Saturday night, Sunday morning. I would expect daytime parade temperatures in the 50s, nighttime parade temperatures generally after sunset in the 40s. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb. but we're not expecting rainfall, and it'll be quite a bit of sunshine. Pretty nice conditions, all things considered. Better than a couple of weekends ago, that's for sure. Winds are back out of the south pretty quickly through the first parts of next week, and that should lead us back into the 70s and set us up for a relatively active pattern. More on that in just a minute. Look at the temperature outlook over the next 6 to 10 days. This carries us from February 11th through February 15th, right through Valentine's Day. Retha says, hope so, I'm going fishing. Sounds good. It should be some nice fishing weather, I would think. Susie, good evening to you. Again, 6 to 10 day precip outlook starts to trend us back toward a soggier pattern, if you will. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. The future is here with all of your 2026 models, Polaris, Yamaha. The future is here. What does that even mean? I wrote that. The future is here. The future's never here. The future's never here. The present is here. You know when the future's going to be here? Tomorrow. The past just left. When? Yesterday. Just left. I don't know. Anyway, take a look at the Futurecast, and we're showing total moisture. As we work this cold front through the area tomorrow, there's not a lot of moisture that we will really stack up ahead of this boundary. You can see some brighter blue, so we're at least accumulating some moisture ahead of this front as it moves through the area tomorrow, but not a lot. Not even really a lot to muster even a whole lot in the way of cloud cover. Ridge of high pressure sets up as we go through the bulk of the weekend, so big hump in the jet stream, sinking, compressing, warming air. That's not going to allow for any kind of rain chances or any significant storm systems. But as we get beyond the weekend and into the early parts of next week, you start seeing the subtropical moisture start turning back in. I did not make it specific what we were looking at here. This is called the total precipitable water. I like to show this from time to time. It's a good measure of the total moisture in the column of air above us. We're obviously dealing with quite a bit of dry air in all levels of the atmosphere. By early next week, we get those subtropical southwesterlies to start at least conveyor belting some moisture back in. Not necessarily significant amounts of moisture until we can get a storm system in by midweek. We really still don't know what to make of this storm system and this disturbance as it makes its way through the area Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Could bring some stronger thunderstorm potential, maybe. Could just bring general thunderstorms. Could just be a rainmaker. But it looks to be our next storm system with any kind of legitimate rain chances. Once we get beyond that, it looks as though, again, we can't really talk about a lot of specifics, but now it looks like we're going to line up another storm system here, and then there's another one behind it. And so, again, when we start getting this far out, we can't really get into the specifics of whether this storm system 1 is going to be a severe weather maker and storm system 2 is going to be a heavy rain maker, or vice versa, or neither, or both. We don't know. We just don't know. We're just looking at, again, pattern recognition. And the pattern recognition shows we're going to trend warmer than normal, and we're probably going to start seeing rain chances return more frequently. And that's about as specific as we can be. That's as specific as I want to be in the forecast at this point. But it does set us up for a more active second half of the month of February. If you are asking about winter weather potential during that stretch, it does not, at least at this point, seem likely for our area, just because there doesn't seem to be any huge transports of Arctic air into our region. And if you remember from the ice storm, you really need to have that deep, well-entrenched, cold, dense air mass in place before you can entertain any kind of significant winter weather event. So that doesn't appear likely. And to be honest with you, I know a lot of folks that are pretty much just kind of tapped out on winter weather. They just don't want to deal with it anymore. Miss Hannah, good evening. Thank you again for my card. If you just joined, I showed it to everybody. It's wonderful. Melanie, Tina, Jane, thank you so much for joining in. Lows tonight will fall back into the low 40s, upper 30s for some. It'll be chilly, cold, but not necessarily drastically cold. Daytime highs tomorrow, back into the mid-70s. Plenty of sunshine. It says staying cool. I meant to say staying warm. Whatever. We will trend cooler for Saturday. Mid to upper 50s for highs then. Morning lows back in the low 40s. As we entertain rain chances for the early parts of next week, I will say that I've kept those rain chances rather conservative here in the short term simply because timing of those storm systems is still something we just haven't figured out yet. But we will be cooler for parade day on Saturday. Sunday will be warmer, so if you have outdoor plans, or for, like I said, for folks that are trying to just get their homestead kind of cleaned up after the ice storm, if you haven't had an opportunity to cut up a tree or something like that, it's a good weekend to kind of start thinking about those possibilities if you're able. But for the rest of the area, it's just kind of turning our attention toward next week and what rain chances we could be dealing with by next Tuesday, and then maybe again in parts of next week. But we can't, again, really say that with a lot of certainty. Also, take some time to enjoy the pleasant conditions while they last, because they will be quite spring-like over the next several days. A reminder, the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank is a digital weather platform serving 33 parishes and counties across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and western Mississippi. It's made possible 100% free to you by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. We appreciate every single one of them, and they make this possible. So again, we always ask that if you can support them, when you can support them, please do so. You do your role in supporting me by following me on your favorite social media platforms. Like, comment, and share on the content that you feel is worthy of being shared. Not all of it is. And like I said, support our local business partners when you can, if you can. Fishing Game comes out at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, that's made possible by First South Farm Credit. And it's just a great little weather graphic to get you squared away for tomorrow. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. App links to download at digitalweatherdesk.com. And I will see you first thing in the morning as we get ready for the weekend. And it should be a nice one. Make sure I turn the clicker off. I have a horrible habit of not turning this thing off, so I'm just wasting battery power. I mean, it's like a 1 AAA, but still, battery power is battery power. I'll see you in the morning. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. As always, we're so glad you're here. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.